Welcome to the Jakarta Convention Centre for the 36th staging of the Indonesian Open. We're here at this new venue as the iconic Istora Senayan is currently under renovation. So, new venue, but the same colourful and fanatical fans. And many have been here since this morning getting ready to party and cheer on the home players. So it is semi-finals day today at the BCA Indonesian Open, the fifth event on the 12 tournament MetLife BWF World Superseries. Not only the fifth event of the year, but also the third of 5 premier events, an even higher tier of tournament within the Super Series. So semi-finals day today, as I say, and we've got 5 matches for you this afternoon. We're starting with women's singles, and both players unseeded Nitchaon Jindapol of Thailand, who in the second round beat the 3-time former champion Sayaka Sato, and then yesterday beat the defending champion Tai Tzu Ying. She's up against the left-handed Sayaka Sato, who was beaten finalist here 7 years ago. Then it's men's singles, and Shrikant Kidambi trying to reach a second final in back-to-back Super Series tournaments. He's up against the new world #1, So-won Ho of Korea. Then it's women's doubles. Both pairs have already won a Super Series title this year. Tanaka and Yonemoto won in Delhi at the India Super Series, and Jang Ye-na and Lee So-hee are the All England champions. Then it's men's doubles, and Alfian and Ardianto in the first ever Super Series semi-final for the home players. They're up against the world #1s, Bo and Mogensen, who were beaten finalists here 5 years ago. Then the last of our semi-finals is the second women's singles, and Zhang Bei-wen, now representing the United States of America. She's up against the only seeded player left in the women's singles. That's Sung Ji-hyun, who today is in her 6th semi-final in 6 Super Series tournament plays. And that started at the Super Series finals at the end of last year. So what a run for Sung Ji-hyun. Well, with women's singles, our first semi-final of the day, a chance for us to look at the Destination Dubai rankings at the moment. And Tai Tzu Ying and Carolina Marin swapped places after the Singapore Open. Tai Tzu Ying won the title there, and of course she was beaten yesterday. Just outside that list is the player we're about to watch. Sayaka Sato is at number 11. She went up 4 places after Singapore. So as you can see, 3 Japanese players and 2 Chinese players currently on that list. Well, as far as the draw is concerned, only 1 seed, as I say, left in the tournament. 4 different nations represented at semi-final stage, and that's only the 3rd time that it's happened here at the Indonesian Open since the inception of the Super Series. In the women's singles, 4 different nations at semi-finals. What a healthy situation for world badminton. Well, just 1 court in action today on semi-finals day. I'm Jill Clark, delighted to say that sitting alongside me once again is former head coach of the Danish national team, Steen Pedersen. And as Jindapol gets announced onto the court, Steen, I think you're probably one of the many, like me, who at the beginning of the week would never have thought that we would be welcoming her onto court for semi-finals day.
Oh, she had a very tough draw, but she's really adapted well to the playing conditions here in Jakarta and has performed absolutely magnificent so far in the tournament.
And of course, her opponent, left-handed Sayaka Sato. She, of course, was the first ever player from Japan to contest a Super Series women's singles final, and it was here in Jakarta. And it was 7 years ago when she lost to Sayaka Sato in a thrilling 3-game final. So for Jindapol, well, this is only her 2nd ever appearance in a Super Series semi-final, and it happens to be the 2nd time that she's reached a semi-final of this particular event. So obviously both these players love playing here in Jakarta.
Receive.
Well, it was last year that we had the last unseeded player win the women's singles title here, and that was Tai Su Ying. And with both these players unseeded, we're guaranteed another unseeded player in tomorrow's final. 26 years of age, Jindapol, born in Phuket, has been as high as 12 on the world ranking. A total of 20 weeks at number 12, went up one place on the world ranking to 14 this week. And what a tournament she's had. Saina Nehwal, the three-time former champion. First ever victory over her in their 8th meeting, and then did exactly the same thing yesterday in the quarterfinal against the defending champion. She'd lost their 7 previous meetings against Tai Su Ying. It's obviously 8th time lucky for Jindapol, winning in 3 games, as you saw, against last year's champion, Tai Su Ying. So to the left-handed Sayaka Sato, is currently 17 in the world ranking. Did spend 12 weeks over 2 different spells as world number 12. Born in Miyagi, and she, as I was telling you, went up 4 places on the Super Series standings, just outside that top 10, as we saw. She's number 11. At the moment, it's her first semi-final of the year, and what a way to get to the semi-final. She's beaten 2 seeded players, Hebing Jiao, the number 7 seed in the first round, and in the quarterfinal yesterday, an all-Japanese affair, beating the number 3 seed, Akane Yamaguchi, in 3 games. So 2 of her matches going the full distance. And as far as these 2 players are concerned, well, this will be the 5th meeting between the 2 of them, and of the previous 4, honours are shared.
Ready to play?
But the last time they met was in the first round of the Thailand Grand Prix Gold 2 years ago. 3 games on that occasion. And in fact, it's gone to 3 games twice on the previous 4 meetings, and when it's gone to 3 games, those are the 2 times that the Japanese player Sato has won. So our court officials from Malaysia and Estonia. Well, for Sayaka Sato, it's been a long, long wait since she was last in a Super Series semi-final 6 years ago. It's in fact her first ever Premier Super Series semi-final, because of course when she reached the final here in 2010, that was before the inception of the Premier status at Super Series level. So I'm not sure if that's really sort of cheating the record books that she has been in what is now a Premier event in the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Nitchaon Jindapol, Thailand. And on my left, Sato Sayaka, Japan. Sato Sayaka to serve, love for play.
Just long. Well, in the interim period, Steen, since this lady, Sayaka Sato, was in her first and only Super Series tournament final, she's gone through a whole catalogue of very serious injuries, ankle injury, knee injury, and it is wonderful to see her back playing at this sort of level again.
Yeah, it is, and a little bit surprising also that she actually made it, and says something about her character, especially after that terrible injury at the Olympics against Tine Baum. At that time, I thought she would have a difficult time coming back, not only because it was quite a severe injury, but also because Japan has such a bunch of talented young women's singles players.
Yes, no, I agree with that. And I was saying that Sato, of course, was the first ever women's singles player from Japan to contest a Super Series tournament final. There's now been 7 different players from Japan to contest a women's singles Super Series tournament final. So, I mean, that just emphasizes the point you were making. There's so many good players from Japan at this elite level.
Yeah, and also at the level just below, because I follow some of the tournaments on the European circuit, and there's a lot of Japanese players all over the categories doing well, but especially also women's singles.
3-1.
And I watched a little bit of Sato's match yesterday against Akane Yamaguchi, and she was looking really, really sharp, very fast on court. It was a very good game, tight match, and it's interesting to see what the impact is that we've seen Jindapol play the last 2 days, but it's against players that are a little bit shorter, and I mean, Sato, she's 171. That's a tall girl for Japanese women's singles, where we have some that are below 160.
Yeah.
So what impact will it have on the game that she's got a better reach and a little bit more powerful smashing game if she chooses to do that? What will that do to Jindapol compared to her matches against Sina and Tai Su Ying?
I guess also we ought to question how Jindapol will react after those 2 huge wins for her.
Definitely.
Because now, is she the favourite coming into this? According to the ranking, she is. She's 14. Sato is 17 on the ranking. So it's a whole different psychological approach.
And at least they're much more leveled.
Yeah.
It's a much more level matchup than the previous ones. I mean, she was higher than Sina on the world ranking, but she was 0-7 down in head-to-heads and 0-7 down in head-to-heads against Tai Su Ying. Here it's 2-all in head-to-heads, and she feels no doubt that this is a good chance of reaching a premier final.
Yeah.
Plus the emotions, the mental energy you use when you beat players you haven't beaten before. We saw that earlier today where H.S. Pranoy played Sakai of Japan and lost that match, even though he'd beaten Lee Chong-wei and Chen Long earlier on in the tournament. So sometimes you're feeling just a bit drained after these big emotional wins.
4-5.
Bounce on the spot there from Nitchaon Jindapol.
Service over 6-4.
Little sign of frustration. Oh,
Good shot.
Great disguise. And Sato just left stranded.
Service over 5-6.
Powerful defence from Jindapol.
Yeah, did a good job to keep that inside the lines, because there's a bit of a side drift from left to right. Perhaps not as much closer to the floor, but we can see it when here in the hall. We can see when the players serve or play high clears that it's I suspect about half a meter's side drift.
Oh, that's sweet. Good rally. Oh, quick in. Going for the reverse slice. Straight drop once again. Played an outright winner with that earlier on. And a very, very good rally.
Service over 7-all.
And that was quickly that Jindapol asked for a towel down. Was denied by the umpire. But it's 7-all in the first game. That's early.
Service over 8-7.
That would tie in with our theory from earlier in the week, Steen, the drift, apart from the sideways drift that you've mentioned, that the lengthways drift is taking the shuttle faster towards that far side of the court as we look down.
Yeah, and yesterday we were a little bit puzzled because we saw a lot of mistakes on this near side of the court on the baseline. I had a chance to talk with some of the Danish coaches this morning, and they said that the hole was not exactly as Istora. It was actually possible to lift, which is very, very difficult in Istora. So you could lift here, but they felt it was a slow hole. And the way I see it, then the slow hole comes from you not being able to time your shots accurately, because there's so much side drift here. So it's difficult to really get the good impact on the shuttle.
Yeah. Well, 3 straight points sees Sato back into the lead.
Oh, what a deception.
That's fabulous.
Wow.
This is where she's developed her game, I think, Steen, Jindapol.
Doesn't seem like we're going to get a replay of it, but it was amazing to see the feet of Sayaka Sato, because there you can see how much she fell for that deception.
Played by Jindapol, has the advantage at the mid-game interval.
11-10 interval.
Always puts heart and soul into her matches, does Sayaka Sato.
Yeah.
Great work rate on court.
That was what amazed me yesterday when I was glimpsing at the match against Yamaguchi, how much pace there was in that game.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Jindapol is starting out on the same side of the court as she did the two previous days, and if you noticed in the beginning when we had the road to semi-final, then the scoreline was quite symmetric. She'd won the first game quite close against both Saina and Tai Tzu-Ying, lost the second game very, very convincingly.
Yeah.
And we felt that, or at least I felt, I don't know with you, Jill, but I felt that she had trouble playing this near side of the court here. And then in the third game, she certainly had totally the right plan for playing this side here.
Yeah.
So that was amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Good shot.
She's commanding the rallies much more than I remember her in the past, Jindapol as well.
Yeah.
Twelve, 10.
That's a fantastic shot.
Yeah.
And very efficient here because it goes to the backhand side of Sayaka Sato. Very difficult to cover.
Shot.
And look at Sato's shots to the backcourt. Now that was a great save there. But if you look at Sato's shot to the backcourt, almost all her shots are in many ways slow shots. That means they have an arch on their trajectory. It's not push clears, it's not flat lifts, which means that she's not really putting a lot of pressure on Jindapol. As long as she can move to the backcourt, then she will have quite good time to execute her attacking shots. That one's better. Means that she's got some respect for the drift, in my opinion, and that
11.
Sort of sends the initiative over to Jindapol. And one more thing is that Jindapol has played this court Thursday and Friday, whilst Sayaka Sato was on one of the outer courts yesterday. That these courts are now not in play anymore. But I read that the English combination of Chris and Gabby Adcock, they had played on the middle court, for 2 days, and suddenly came to one of the outer courts, and the wind conditions there were totally different, and they had a tough time adjusting. And I'm just wondering whether Sato is finding it extra difficult today to time her shots.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because all the players have been mentioning that the drift is different depending on which court you're on.
Yeah. And there was a couple, at least one clear I noticed that had
Service over.
a bit more bite in it.
15. Change.
And I think that that's really important. I mean, in the beginning of a tournament, there's some things that you have to exclude from your game to get used to the conditions, but as the tournament progresses and you get more and more used to the conditions, you should be able to use all the weapons in your arsenal.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's too easy for the opponents to predict. Great shot there.
The backhand hold and flat
fantastic.
drive.
Yeah, there's a little deception on it. Excellent shot.
Service over. 16. 12.
Always landed in. Yeah.
17. 12.
Clearly inside that back line.
Short that second shot was from Sato. She's a little bit passive when she's out of balance and gets punished. Good call.
Oh yes, that's super. Well, until that final shot, it was just occurring to me that Sato was having real problems finishing off the rally.
19.
Oh, that's delightful. Ready to pounce. And game point opportunities for Nitchaon Jindapol.
I just checked, it is the first time in this tournament that Sayaka Sato is playing center court.
Opening game to Nitchaon Jindapol. 21-13 confirms the umpire. Fraction over 20 minutes. And when you consider they were 10 all, in fact she was 9-10 down. Jindapol. Second half of that opening game really stepped up to the plate. Increased the intensity and ran away with it. 21-13. approach to the Japanese team. And Choi Sang-fong, former Korean player, both of the Japanese coaches. So, Steen, I was saying that there's been 7 players from Japan to contest a series women's singles final. Can you name them all?
So we have Sato and Yamaguchi and Okuhara. Those are the easy ones.
Yeah.
They have one more in the 80. That's Minatsu Mitani.
Yeah, won the French Open in 2012.
That was 4.
That's 4 so far.
That's
You've
4.
got another 3.
Wow, that's we're gonna dig
Here we
deep.
go. Net points 1. Point winners. Drop shots, smashes.
So Sato has won on 9 drop shots. I find that really hard to believe.
I find that incredible.
But that's what our statistics have put on the noteboard.
So 1 game to the goods. Jindapol. I'm going to leave that little teaser with you.
Yeah, I
Steen,
take them little by little without sneak peeking on the internet.
Well in. Yep. So you've got another 3 players.
Aya Ohori?
No,
No. Sayaka Takahashi?
no.
That's very, very difficult now.
It's a lovely angle again.
Two love.
Well, she knows she's got to play tight to the net, Sato, but there was a big, big sigh after she made an error on that net shot. I wonder if we'll see it. Yeah. Watch this. Yeah, dear.
Yeah, and she didn't really get into that first game. Even if she was 10-9 or something like that, she still looked uncomfortable on court and made many mistakes and shots that she didn't hit well, follow-ups that were, wow, that's a good placement.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Tried to follow up and got overplayed a couple of times, so she doesn't have a good feeling right now on court. It's going to be really, really tough for her to come back. So she's going to take it 1 rally at a time, and the first thing to do is to sort of prevent Jindapol from just scoring points as easy as she's doing at the moment. Very good clears.
Yeah.
Service over. 2-4.
3-4 clears to the backhand side of Sayaka Sato, and very, very different trajectory from Jindapol compared to Sayaka Sato's clears in the first game. Much more bite and punch in it.
Oh, that's a good net shot. Forces the short lift.
Ooh.
Oh, dicing with death there.
Service over.
But found the line. Well, then you have to say it's perfection. But if you're a Jindapol fan, you would have been awfully worried when you saw that one. Going towards where the drift is taking shuttles wide. It's Jindapol that's controlling the rallies, isn't she, taking the initiative?
She is, and even on this side here, where we saw how big problems Sayaka Sato had, Jindapol is conducting everything. She's already scored 6 points. That was what she scored in the second game against China. I think she got 8 against
You're right.
Thai. A little bit lucky there.
Service over.
Sato.
4-6.
That was going out, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I think so. I think it's more than half a meter now. It's gone long.
No, it's
No.
called good. Hold up.
6.
We haven't had a challenge yet in this
No.
semi-final, have we? That's going wide.
Yeah.
Crikey. That's a good clear again. Yeah, there's the drift taking it wide.
Service over. 7-5.
Yes, good lift.
Oh,
Oh, doesn't follow it up.
she wants too much. She gets too greedy because she wants to play it so close and lifts it a little bit. And I think that's maybe the drift is the difference here. She wanted to be really, really close on Jindapol's side.
It's
Wide
going
again.
wide. Yeah, there you are. There's that drift you have talked about.
9-5.
So important for Jindapol now to maintain the pressure on Sato. Don't let her in this match. Don't let her get a reasonably good feeling.
Service over. 6-9. No. Play.
Well, again, the umpire not allowing the players to towel down, and it is very hot, humid conditions here in Jakarta. Oh, that was going wide.
Yeah, but she doesn't have a good feeling of the court, Sato, so she's taking more or less everything.
Yeah.
Service over. 10-6. No, she's ready. No delay.
Well, the umpire saying your opponent is ready, don't delay, when Sato was asking to towel down. Sato asked the previous rally when Sato herself was serving.
Yeah. Yeah, and we saw in one of the previous matches also where there was clearly a lot of perspiration on the floor, and it was not allowed to be wiped off. I think it's a little too strict. I mean, it's not like we've been seeing players that are trying to delay the game unnecessarily here.
No, I agree. Well, it's a healthy lead for Nitchaon Jindapol. 5-point advantage here in the second game. So now you've had time, as we have confirmation of that score, to give that a little more thought about the 3 missing players of Japanese women's singles players who've contested a Super Series tournament final. Let me help you out. 2011 at the All England, there was 3 Japanese players or pairs contesting 3 finals that year, and of course that was 2011 was the year of the dreadful tsunami in Japan, and there was a Japanese player in the women's singles final.
In
2011. Yuriko Hidoroshi.
That's right. I didn't think of her because she was a little bit older than the other players, so I would never have guessed her.
She was also in the final of the French Open in 2012. Another Japanese player here at the Indonesian Open 2 years ago. Lost to Ratchanok in the final.
I was there.
You were there. You were commentating on it.
I've forgotten it.
Yui Hashimoto.
That's right.
And
she played extremely well in that tournament.
She did.
She beat Carolina Marin, I remember, in the first round.
So just 10 points needed for Jindapol to get through to her first ever Super Series tournament final. Well, that's found the line. That's lovely play from Sato, and I'll quickly give you the name of the 7th Japanese player. Lost to Akane Yamaguchi in the 2013 Japan Open. It was an all-Japan final.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Uchida.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that either.
Eight, 11.
2 good points for Sato. Get a little belief in it again. That's the push.
Yeah.
And
well,
rewarded by a little bit of luck there.
Yeah, but Jindapol appeared to be appealing to the umpire.
Yeah, I think so too.
That she had touched the net. I think it was the shuttle that touched the net, wasn't it? Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's the little point, the umpire, to say, was that a fault? Well, the answer was no, it wasn't. She's always been a great fighter, has Sato.
10, 11.
Much more pressure applied now from Sato.
4.
5 straight points after the mid-game interval.
And she gets in trouble because she plays that soft clear that leaves all the initiative with the Thai player.
Service over 12, 11.
It's before this, I think. But all credit to Jindapol for... There it is.
Yeah.
No, that was the decisive shot. All credit to Jindapol for being alert to the possibilities. Nice little deception.
Good defense. Oh, yes, good rally.
Service over 12-all.
She's a little frustrated, Jindapol, but she did everything right in that rally. So if she can play rallies like this, then she's going to end up the winner of this match, no doubt about it.
Just wide. Oh, challenge here. We have got a challenge now. First challenge of the
Jindapol
match.
challenges called out.
No, I thought the line judge got that right.
Yeah, me too.
Well, having got 6 of the last 7 points, it was worth a challenge just to break up the rhythm, I guess, but line judge proved right. Well, it hasn't been shown, I don't think, on the giant screen. Ah, it is now.
Challenge unsuccessful.
Because we had the advantage of seeing that, but the fans here at the
13,
convention centre
12.
were unaware. Terrific. And there has been a most definite shift in momentum. Of the last 9 points into Sato.
Since the interval.
Yep.
And I sometimes hear people commenting and say, hey, why do they need coaches? They never really make a difference. I'm positive in this cage, the coaches have made a difference.
Oh,
Good
yes.
shot.
Yep. Of that I have no doubt. The question mark in a lot of people's mind, I think, is whether coaches should be involved in individual sport, with help in the preparation of the player, but once the match gets underway, should it be up to the player or should the coach have so much influence? Because the coach can have, as we've seen, as you've rightly pointed out, a huge amount of influence.
And also in the opposite direction of giving too much information, and we're going to see the second women's singles. Yes, we are later today.
Yeah,
we're going to see Zhang Bei-wen of the United States. She's playing without coaches.
Yeah.
15-13. Thank you. Nitchaon.
Well, she did look to be cruising at 11-6 when they went to the interval. It's all very, very different now.
Yeah, and she was going for it today. I mean,
yeah,
she spent more energy should she lose this second game and face a decider. She didn't spend a lot of energy in the last 2 days.
16-13.
Lovely, lovely cross-court backhand.
Service over, 14-16.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite drastic,
Service
isn't it?
over,
That lengthways drift.
17-14.
It's great work by Sato coming back there because it looked really, really bleak for her
18,
at 6'11".
14.
Strong mental
Yeah.
effort.
Yeah.
So easy to start feeling sorry for yourself. Complaining about playing conditions, not really timing your shots well, and the drift and so on.
Not being allowed to tell down when she
Yeah,
asked. And
yeah, exactly.
all those little irritations. Always just long.
Service over, 15-18.
It's one of the situations where it's very important for Sato to get a feeling of whether the serve was too short from Jindapol, because she's going to be a little bit puzzled. How could she put that long when she's playing up against the drift?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I wonder if the drift has suddenly changed.
Yeah. But we saw that yesterday as well, that it was
Yeah.
possible to put it long. I didn't notice
18.
where the feet were, where Sato's feet were, but that's important because maybe she chose the wrong shot. Maybe she should have smashed. Wow.
Totally mistimed.
Yeah.
Service over, 19-17.
That could prove costly.
That's wonderful to see when you're one game down and the opponent is about to catch you, and then she totally misfires a shot. Again.
Service over, 18-19.
She's got to try to control these next rallies, Jindapol. It's a good chance for her to close it out into straight games.
Always landed in.
Yeah.
That's perfect. What a great shot from
Service
Sato.
over, 20. Game point,
And she's earned
18.
herself 2 game point opportunities to level this semi-final at 1 game apiece. Yeah, it's 1 game all.
Second game
What
won
a
by
fight
Sato
back
Sasha.
by the left-handed Sayaka
21-18.
Sato.
1 game all.
6-11 down at the mid-game interval of this second game, having lost the first. What fighting spirit, what a great comeback. And for all us neutrals, we're going to be treated to a third and deciding game. I'm guessing one of the things, as far as Jindapol is concerned, is that her coaches have got to get her up mentally, because she will have in the back of her mind that, you know, I was in the driving seat there and I should have finished it off.
11-6, and then let it slip away, but almost came back and let it slip one more time, actually.
Yeah.
And a whole lot of explanation on the Japanese side on how to play this near side of the TV court.
20 seconds. 20
I was amazed by that clear she played, Sayaka Sato, that got her to 20, because she just made 3 errors in that corner. The courage to play it one more time and then put it exactly right, that's fantastic. That's amazing. That's what the champions are made of. You don't rule a corner out, you just do it a little bit better the next time.
Yeah.
Nitchaon.
Well, the last time that Sato was in a Super Series semi-final was in Delhi in India in 2011.
Final game, love all.
But I wonder how much the fact that she has contested a Super Series tournament final before is going to actually help in this deciding game. Does the experience help in a situation like this, or not really, because it was so long ago?
I'm not sure. I think it has helped her overcome her injury woes, so to speak, because she knows she's been there. She knows that she can play at the top level, and I think that's really important compared to having a serious injury and haven't really made an impact in your discipline.
Yeah, just wide.
Service over 1-all.
Excellent. Wow, yeah, that's a challenge.
Yeah, well, the line judge didn't actually make a call to start with.
Nitchaon challenges home in.
Yeah, I think she's right in her challenge. I saw that going wide.
Challenge remaining.
That's why it took a little while for the linesman to make a verdict. Had to apply his superhero sight. Good shot.
Oh, yeah. I thought for a moment it was going to come back in.
Service over 2-4.
Oh, perfect. Oh, well, she's hesitating on whether to challenge or not.
2.
And now it's too late.
Yeah, but she was looking to her coaches, which she shouldn't really do.
And they're not in a very good position to judge it either.
No. Looks like we're not going to see that again.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Great play.
The key is taking it early at the net there, isn't it? Then you've got so many options.
Yeah, and I think Sato played it a little bit too high, and picking up on that and being able to capitalize on it. That's what she's done so well, Jindapol, during these 3 days where we've seen her. Great footwork.
No, that's overdone.
Service over 3-4.
We've seen a number of cross smashes that where both players have really gone for the winner here. And it's a win or lose. I mean, if it's in, it's an outright winner. But a number of them have been outright losers. Not playing with a lot of margin on the cross smashes.
That's good judgment.
5-4.
Good shot, good shot.
Yes. My goodness me.
Service over 5-4.
She seems to have developed real disguise, especially from the front of the court.
Yes, that's very, very nice to see, both from the forehand and the backhand side, and very short pre-swing on the front court as well, so it's hard for the opponent to judge what's coming. There it was again. There it was.
Again. That's brilliant. That disguise from the net area. Now a real weapon for Jindapol. Look at that scrambling.
Service over
Sato left stranded.
6-5.
And not only an efficient shot, it's also fun to practice.
Yeah.
But it's not an easy shot, and especially not here with the shot being played in the right side of the court where the drift can take it out. Yeah. That's the key, in my opinion, for Sato, and when they change ends again for Jindapol. Controlled attack and stay in balance.
Saka.
What's she been told off for?
Yeah, I don't
verbal?
know.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. Good shot.
Very good shot. Crikey, if this umpire ever umpires Carolina Marin.
She's going to have a busy day at the office.
Yeah, that's found the line, hasn't it? Inch perfect.
Good shot. There was 2 efficient cross smashes from Jindapol. Might have been something that she spotted, that twisting and turning Sato would be a good idea. Look at the short backswing there on that forehand.
That's a good rally, and it's a physical rally. That'll take its toll. Yeah, Jindapol immediately asks to tell down. Oh, the umpire says no, play on.
I say no. No. No, she's ready. No.
Sato, I can assure you, was not ready.
No.
Longest rally of the match, 30 shots with 2 minutes shy of the hour mark.
No, and now Sato doesn't want to change the shuttle, so we can have a little discussion about that as well. So it's the same break as if it was a quick towel down.
7-8.
There's so many small tricks in the book for the players that the easiest thing for the umpire is to apply and say, just be quick.
Service over 9-7.
Sekali lagi kepada para peserta, kami mohon untuk tidak menggunakan flash. Para penonton dimohon untuk tidak menggunakan flash. Terima kasih.
Oh, yes. Yeah, more aggression in that rally from Sato.
Service over 8-9.
Yeah, both players have been a pleasant surprise in this tournament. They played really, really well.
So 1 game all night, all match in progress, exactly 1 hour.
And so far, it's a repeat of the last 2 days' matches that she's been involved in Nitchaon Jindapol. Good shot.
Good rally. Oh, don't believe it.
Now,
she's got cramp.
10,
She's got cramp.
9.
Jindapol is in trouble. Oh, dear me. Well, the longest rally of the match at 41 shots, and I can tell you that Jindapol is still down on the floor.
Oh.
Yeah, hamstring. The medical team have come onto court, but this is big, big trouble for Jindapol. Well, she's had such tough matches over the last 2 days, both her second round match and her quarterfinal over the hour mark. We're over the hour mark now. Well, some cold spray there, the medic, but I'm not sure that's really going to help.
No, she's probably going to try and make one more rally to the interval, because then the Thai coaches or team physio can come in. But the thing is that...
Now that looks to me more as if it's calf muscle.
Yeah, maybe it's more than one.
There didn't seem to be any problem with the movement there, Steen. It's when the rally finished.
Yeah, it's when she lies down here, which she shouldn't be allowed to do, and I think actually the cramp sets in here.
Yeah, I think maybe you're right. My mind is flashing back to the 2013 World Championship final, men's singles final. But of course, we've also seen Ratchanok twice withdrawing in 3 games. In the 3rd game because of cramp.
And I'm a bit further back. I'm 20 years back. So the World Championship final in men's singles with Sun Jun against Peter Rasmussen, where he also had cramp and
yeah, in Glasgow.
Yeah, because I think actually you're not allowed to get treatment on court.
Well, you see, this is the big debate, isn't it? What is a fitness issue? What is a fitness issue and what is actually an injury?
Yeah.
Well, we can see it's over 3. Now she's tapping the back of her leg, which suggests once again that it's hamstring. We can see that it's over 3 minutes since the last rally ended. Now that's the tournament doctor.
And there's no really time limit.
No, there isn't. Not in the rule book.
The problem is if you have cramp, then you're almost not capable of walking on court.
Yeah. Well, this is tragic for Jindapol. She's going to try and play on, which is good, but if it really is cramp, I don't see how she can really recover from that.
Play.
She's probably going to go for an outright winner. Oh, there it was again.
Yeah, she's in big trouble.
11-9 interval.
So 11-9 the advantage to Sato. She's already picked up her racket bag, is round the other side of the court. The 1-minute timeout has already started. And I'm not sure she's really going to get up and play on. Now, the last thing she should be doing is squatting down where that contracts the muscle. Now, her coach Sarali Songtongkam has helped her up.
20 seconds.
20
20
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah, wow. She has to make her way back onto court now, otherwise she's in danger of being disqualified.
ไม่เป็นไรพี่สู้ๆเอาแพ้แต่คิวแดกไม่ได้นะ
It's harsh, but that's
Yeah,
sport.
yeah, it is, and that's part of the equation that
Yeah.
you have to be able to play all the tournament. Sometimes you have tougher matches, sometimes you have easier matches, and Sayaka Sato played a very long three-game match against Yamaguchi yesterday.
Yeah, that was also over an hour. And fitness is supposed to be a big test of badminton.
It's a test. Wow. Sato going for the lines
Service over
with the
10,
opponent having a cramp.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Madness.
she played 1 minute longer yesterday, Sato, than her opponent. It can also be something about the fluid intake. That have you actually been able to drink enough? That's the troublesome situation.
She's
The
called
challenge.
in. Is she challenging?
Service over
Or was that just
4.
trying to influence the line judge?
This is where if you were really trying to exploit the rules, she would have another medical advisor on court.
Well, she couldn't believe the call.
Yes.
Sekali lagi kepada para penonton kami mohon untuk tidak menggunakan
Well,
flash. Kami persilakan Anda untuk mengambil foto, tapi sekali lagi kami mohon untuk tidak menggunakan flash. Terima kasih.
Well, it's awfully up.
Sayaka challenges fall in.
Sayaka Sato picked up the shuttle. She was convinced it was out, so
Yeah.
didn't challenge. She then discovered that it had been called in, so wanted to challenge, but then Jindapol is claiming it was too late, which I think she has a fair point. But if you don't know that but you should, as a player, look to the line judge,
Yeah.
see what they call, and then immediately, if you disagree, well, it was clearly out.
Yeah.
How that was called in, I'm not
And
quite
that's
sure.
of course why Jindapol
Unsuccessful.
was claiming that it was too late, because she really
Yeah.
needed that point.
Yeah.
One challenge remaining.
No. Oh. No.
No, that's wrong.
That's
Challenge
wrong.
is successful.
Yes, because it. Yes, now the umpire's got in a muddle here.
Correction in.
Yeah, here we go. That's
No,
better.
no, not correction in.
No. It was called in. There needs to be a correction. The shuttle was out.
Now the referee is making his way onto court. I like that.
Yeah. Referee Pencho Stoyanov from Bulgaria. Can just see him in the background, yes. Here we go, it's on the giant screen again. It's showing that the shuttle has landed out. It was called in, so there is a correction on the line call, but the point is to Sato, and the challenge was successful. So good refereeing
Yes,
from Mr. Stoyanov.
very good.
14-10, play.
Yes, so all challenges remain in this deciding game for Sato. Of course, Jindapol only has one challenge left. But I think that's the least of her worries right now.
15-10.
Yeah. Oh, that's troublesome when she has to put weight on that left leg.
Yeah, this is going to be a telling rally.
It's gone long. No, it's landed way in.
Oh, well, I think there's a challenge here from Jindapol because that was called
Nitchaon challenges
In.
Paul
No, it
out.
was called out. So Jindapol is challenging that. You initially said, Steen...
I thought it was in, but
you-
Sato was convinced it was out.
Yeah, it's clearly in. Yeah, you were right, Steen. So good challenge by Jindapol.
Direction aim. Service over 11-15. Play. Service over 16-11.
Oh, she's
there
holding
it is
her leg
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
In the middle of the rally there, Jindapol was holding her left leg
It's long.
and she's pulled up sharply. She's in trouble again.
Service over 12-16.
She lets her drop and it lands out, but look at her movement there at the back of the court.
Oh, that's a pity.
Service over 17-12.
Yes, well left.
18-12.
Well, it's a real shame because this semi-final was just developing into one of the most intriguing battles, and since that cramp issue for Jindapol, it's all sort of fizzled out a little bit.
Service over 13-18.
But you never know.
No.
It's not over yet.
Wow, good retrieval.
Service over
And now Sayaka Sato as Jindapol once again bent double. Sato just 2 points away from a second
Nitchaon.
Super Series tournament final, 7 years after her first at this particular event.
Yeah, and the big thing here was the way she fought back in the second game.
Yeah.
Down 6-11.
Service over 14-19.
It's going wide.
Yeah.
Match point opportunities for
Service
Sato.
over 20, match point 14.
That's going wide.
Again.
Well, what a comeback from the left-handed Sayaka Sato. 6-11 down in the second game, having lost the first. And she's turned the whole match around. And 7 years after her first Super Series tournament final at this very event, the Indonesian Open, tomorrow she will contest a second Super Series tournament final. That's how she did it. 13-21, 21-18, 21-14 in the deciding game in a match lasting 1 hour and 18 minutes.
Match won by Sato Sayaka. 13-21, 21-18, 21-14.
Oh, she's obviously in distress. Her coaches take her racket bag as she takes leave of the court. But what a tournament Jindapol has had. She's done herself proud. But it's Sato who will contest the final tomorrow. So what a way to get us off on semi-final day with that wonderful women's singles. Next on court is men's singles, and Shrikant Kidambi, who was beaten finalist in the last Super Series event. That was Singapore. He's up against the new world number one, Song-Wan Ho. After that, we'll have women's doubles, then men's doubles, and we'll finish with the second women's singles. And if that second women's singles is half as good as that first match we've just seen, we're in for a real treat this afternoon. But with men's singles coming up next, a chance for us to look at the Super Series standings. 2 Chinese players, 2 players from Hong Kong. The top 4 on that list have all been in Super Series tournament finals this year. But the big mover was Sai Pranith, moving up 18 places after winning in Singapore. Now, as far as the men's singles draw is concerned, we already know that the qualifier from Japan, Kasumasa Sakai, saved 5 match points in that second game against Prannoy of India to come back and book his place in the final. But who will he play in tomorrow's final? Will it be Shrikant Kidambi or the new world number one, Song-Wan Ho?
Service judge of this match.
So 2 Indian players at semi-final stage in men's singles. There was 2 Indian players